let's move towards the chapter laws of chemical combination. First law is law of conservation of mass, second law is law of constant proportions, and third law is law of multiple proportions. Okay, the laws of chemical combinations, there are three laws, and from that we have to learn only first and second law. Okay, so first we will be learning the law of conservation of mass. What? The law of conservation of mass. And this law was given by scientist called Antony Lavoisier. The Antony Lavoisier, who first gave the law of conservation of mass in chemical reaction. You can read the introduction part in your textbook. The nomenclature of oxygen and hydrogen means हाइड्रोजन और ऑक्सीजन को नाम दिया गया था. किसने दिया था? एंटनी लवेजर ने. He showed that the matter combines with oxygen during combustion. He was the first scientist to use accurate weighing techniques to weigh reactants and products in a chemical reaction. And he was the scientist who discovered water is made up of hydrogen and oxygen. Okay, so what is the law of conservation of mass? In a chemical reaction, the total mass of reactants is equal to the total mass of products. Once again, I am repeating here. In a chemical reaction, the total mass of reactants is equal to the total mass of products. See, example is given. 100 grams of calcium carbonate of 100 grams are decomposed completely. When calcium carbonate of 100 grams is heated, then 56 grams of calcium oxide and 44 grams of carbon dioxide are formed. Calcium oxide of 55 grams and carbon dioxide of 44 grams. Okay, so actually 1 gram is somewhere missing, and 55 plus 45 is nothing but 100. Okay, so calcium carbonate of 100 gram, when it is heated, it decomposes into calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. The quantity of calcium oxide becomes 55 gram and carbon dioxide becomes 44 gram. Means the weight which was first of calcium carbonate, when the chemical reaction took place, it forms two substances, but then also when we are adding the weight of the two substances, it gives the weight equal to the weight of the reactant. The things or the chemicals which are beyond the arrow, which are behind the arrow, are known as reactants, and which are forward of arrow are known as products. The chemicals which are taking part in reaction are called reactants, and the chemicals which are formed after the reaction are called products. So that's why we are saying in a chemical reaction, the total mass of reactants is equal to the total mass of products. Okay, and as you have learned from your childhood that energy can neither be created nor destroyed. So in similar way, matter is neither created nor destroyed in a chemical reaction. Matter cannot be created nor destroyed. So this was a law of conservation of mass. Now verification of law of conservation of mass. In a conical flask, we are taking solution of barium chloride solution. Now in test tube, we are taking solution of sodium sulfate. See, and we are tying the test tube with a thread. And releasing it in a flask. And from upper side, we are closing it with a rubber foil. And this is before reaction. And as soon as we release this thread the test tube comes down. The test tube comes down and the sodium sulfate solution mixes with barium chloride solution. And after reaction, what happens? This barium chloride plus sodium sulfate will give barium sulfate and sodium chloride. This barium sulfate and sodium chloride is formed. But if we are seeing the volume of this, the weight of this or volume of this reactants are equal to the volume of products only. There is no change, there is no difference. Thus, the law of conservation of mass is verified. Now let's see the example from your book. When solution of calcium chloride is taken in a conical flask, and in similar way, when you are inserting a test tube filled with solution of sodium sulfate, calcium chloride CaCl2, sodium sulfate Na2SO4, and when you are mixing this, you are turning upside down, the liquid or the chemical inside the test tube mixes with the chemical in the conical flask. So when it is mixing, a white precipitate of calcium sulfate in NaCl solution is formed. This solution is formed of NaCl, sodium chloride, and CaSO4 precipitates. Precipitates means like powder substance is formed in this conical flask, which is nothing but calcium sulfate. But when you are weighing, the first also the weight was 300.23 gram, and when after the reaction also the weight is 323 gram. There is no change in the reactants, in the weight of the reactants or the product. Which was the weight of reactants was the rate of products also. So in this way the matter is conserved, nowhere the matter is wasted or nowhere the matter is diffused. It is conserved, it changes from one phase to another, but the matter is conserved from there only. Now let's move towards law of constant proportions. Law of constant proportions. This law was given by Joseph Proust. J. Proust. This law was given by J. Proust, the scientist who gave the constant proportion, law of constant proportion. Now what does this law states to us? This law states a chemical compound always consists of the same elements. A chemical compound always consists of the same elements combined together in the same proportion by mass. And somewhere this I am going to explain you in Hindi. एक केमिकल कंपाउंड रहता है, जो एक केमिकल कंपाउंड रहता है, जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल वाटर का ले लो, तो इसमें सेम एलिमेंट्स रहते हैं बट एक रेशियो में रहते हैं, एक प्रोपोर्शन में रहते हैं. हमेशा इसके कितनी भी क्वांटिटी बढ़ाओ, कितनी भी क्वांटिटी घटाओ, आप एक ग्लास पानी ले लो, नहीं तो एक बकेट पानी ले लो, दोनों में H2O है, पर दोनों में भी H2O का प्रोपोर्शन सेम ही रहेगा. जितने मॉलिक्यूल्स ऑक्सीजन के रहेंगे उससे उस रेशियो में हाइड्रोजन के भी मॉलिक्यूल्स उतने ही रहेंगे, चाहे ग्लास में ले लो या चाहे बकेट में ले लो. सो while learning the example, first example is proportion by weight of hydrogen and oxygen is 1:8. This means 1 gram of hydrogen and 8 gram of oxygen. Means if 9 gram of water is there, 9 gram of water is there formed by chemical combination, 9 gram of water is there, then 1 gram of hydrogen and 8 gram of oxygen together chemically combined to form 9 gram of water. Okay. Now similarly we can see that proportion by weight of carbon and oxygen is 3:8. Carbon and oxygen, CO2, carbon plus oxygen together makes CO2. CO2 is nothing but carbon dioxide. This means if 44 gram of carbon dioxide is there, in that there is 12 gram of carbon and 32 gram of oxygen. It is in the ratio of 3:8. Means when we are writing 12:32, means when we are writing 12:32, we can divide both the terms by 4. Then we get 4 3s are 12 and 4 8s are 32. It is in the we are just reducing the proportion. We are just reducing the ratio. We are just reducing the proportion. 12:32 is nothing but, when we are reducing, it gives 3:8. Means it totally makes the ratio of 3:8, and 12 gram plus 32 gram totally makes carbon dioxide of 44 gram. Now when we are verifying law of constant proportion, here we are going to verify law of constant proportion. Now CuO means copper oxide. CuO, copper oxide, is obtained one by the decomposition of copper carbonate and another by the decomposition of copper nitrate. Now when copper oxide was placed in somewhere in a beaker, and when hydrogen gas was released, the copper became different from the copper oxide, and the water became different from the copper oxide. Means what happens when this copper oxide reacted with hydrogen? The molecules of hydrogen reacted with the molecules of copper oxide, and it differentiated the metal copper, and hydrogen combines. This oxygen from copper oxide combined with the hydrogen to form water, and copper became separated. This is the reaction. Now what happened? 8 gram of copper oxide was decomposed. 8 gram of copper oxide was decomposed. Then it formed 6.4 gram of copper and 1.8 gram of water. 6.4 gram of copper and water of 1.8 gram. Now in compound H2O means water. H2O is nothing but water. Elements H and O, hydrogen and oxygen, are in proportion 1:8 by weight. In what proportion? 1:8. First only we have seen the example in the previous slide that proportion by weight of hydrogen and oxygen is 1:8. Okay. So are in proportion of 1:8. It means 9 gram of water. In 9 gram of water, 1 gram is hydrogen and 8 gram is oxygen, obviously. Now in 1.8 gram of water contains how many grams of oxygen? It is in the ratio of 1:8. 1.8 gram of water contains how many gram of oxygen and how many gram of hydrogen? Because water is made from hydrogen and oxygen, H2O. So we have got 1.8 gram of water, and in 1.8 gram, how many grams of oxygen molecules are there and how many grams of hydrogen is there? So for finding that, we have the ratio and we have the weight. So when we are finding 1.8 gram of water contains 8, means 1 plus 8 total is 9, and the ratio of oxygen is 8. So we are multiplying by 8, and the total units is 1 plus 8 is equal to 9. So and the weight is 1.8. So 1.8 divided by 9. 8 into 1.8 divided by 9, we get 1.6 gram of oxygen. Okay. Therefore, it means 8 gram of 8 gram of copper oxide contains 6.4 gram of copper and 1.6 gram of oxygen. 8 gram of copper oxide contains 6.4 gram of copper and 1.6 gram of oxygen. Thus, and what we have actually added? We have added the hydrogen gas separately. We have added the hydrogen gas separately. See, in this reaction, we are adding the hydrogen gas separately. if the water quantity is 1.8, the quantity of oxygen is 1.6 and the quantity of hydrogen will be 0.2, obvious. So we are comparing copper oxide and only copper and oxygen. We are leaving back the hydrogen. So when we are considering copper of 6.4 gram and oxygen of 1.6 gram, we are leaving the hydrogen part now. So 8 gram of copper oxide contains 6.4 gram of copper and 1.6 gram of oxygen. We have left back the hydrogen part because we have additionally added it. हमने उसको बाहर से ऐड किया था, इसलिए हम उसे अभी कंसिडरेशन में नहीं ले रहे हैं. 8 gram of copper oxide contains, and see this formula is there. Copper oxide means carbon and oxygen, copper and oxygen. 6.4 gram of copper and 1.6 gram of oxygen. We are leaving back somewhere hydrogen. Now we are taking the proportion of copper is to oxygen. Copper is to oxygen. Thus it gives the proportion of 6.4 is to 1.6. 6.4 gram of copper and 1.6 gram of oxygen. Okay. And when we are dividing these both numbers by 16, we get 16 ones are 16 and 16 fours are 64. So now it is in a ratio of 4:1. From reaction we have got the ratio 4:1. Now let's check with respect to atomic masses. Atomic mass of carbon is to oxygen. Atomic mass of copper is to oxygen. What is the atomic mass of copper? It is nothing but 63.5. It is approximately 64. Okay, this is nothing but approximately 64. And this is oxygen. What is the atomic mass of oxygen? It is nothing but 16. And when we are dividing both these terms by 16, we get 16 ones are 16 and 3.968. And when we are dividing 63.5 by 16, we are getting 3.968. Somewhere approximately equals to 4:1. Hence, the law of constant proportion is verified. Students, you should learn and read this example from page number 48 of your book. Verification of the law of constant proportion.